Hello, MGTOW. Hello, man. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So this is an impromptu podcast. I just started to do it. I usually like to have a video ready for you every morning to begin your MGTOW day, but, I didn't have one. So I'm just going to go live. Also, this is part of a series now of new podcasts that I'm going to be doing, the Angry Man podcasts, because men have a lot to be angry about, and I'm going to tell you about that. And, we're going to pick particular issues. We're going to talk about them, going to express what's going on, how we feel. Maybe I'll start bringing men into the podcast to talk about some of the issues. These won't be long podcasts. Now, for this first one, I want to talk to you about just the nature of anger itself and how men and women respond differently to anger, okay? Because once you understand that the men and the women are looking at the situation totally differently, this might give you a little bit of insight and help as to how to move forward with the situation. Because as I said, the men and the women process anger differently. Now, I didn't even upload a thumbnail for this podcast here. Like I said, you got to do it when you got to do it, right? Hey, thanks for stopping by, Magnetic. Sorry, bro. How you doing, brother? Well, I'm doing good. It's Friday. You know what I mean? Like, we made it through another week, right? And for some of us, that's all we can hope for. You know what I get by day to day, and it's like, well, shit, I made it. So good enough, right? And any day you're above ground is a good day. Okay, any day you're not stuck out on the streets and you've got a roof over your head is a good day. And even if you are stuck out on the streets, any day you can wake up and you're strong and you're healthy and you're ready is a good day for a man. Okay, I think that men have had it too easy. I don't know if that's the way to put it. I think men expect to have it too easy. I think they look out around the world and they see the women out there and they're like, yeah, I should have all this nice stuff too. Bullshit. You don't need it. Okay, I'll tell you, in Spartan days, you know what they did? They fed the men and the women, the boys and the girls, differently. Okay? The girls got cakes and fruits and candies and stuff like that. The boys had to fight for their meat. And if you didn't win that fight, you didn't eat that day. And, it made for a strong man. It really did. And I think that we need strong men. And that's why I want to start doing these, angry podcasts, angry man podcasts, because men are angry, and rightly so. Now, as I was saying, this first one, I just want to talk about the nature of anger and how men and women respond to it and process it completely differently. And this explains a lot of what's going on in our society. This explains why a lot of the men, especially the younger ones, have difficulty understanding how to interact with this system and how other people respond to them, because that's a big deal. The guy's like, hey, man, this isn't right. I don't appreciate this. I don't like this. And everybody's like, oh, how dare you say that? You know what I mean? I experienced a lot of that. So what we're looking at is a biological difference between the way the sexes process anger. And here's the thing. This extends even into the animal kingdom. So, this is one of the tests that you can use to kind of check out, where your ideas are. If it's true for male and female throughout the entire animal kingdom, it's biological. It's evolutionary biology. It's built. It's hardwired into us. So let's look at that, okay? Now, let's say that you're, out in the forest. You're camping, right? You're outdoors as a man should be. Hope you guys are doing okay today. And you encounter a bear, right? You're just walking around doing your stuff, and hey, there's a bear there because that's his place. And if it's a female bear, okay, what she's interested in is getting you out of the area because she's probably got cubs or she's thinking about cubs, and she doesn't want any sort of a stranger in the area. So her approach is very cautious, She's just like checking you out. And if you back off out of her area, okay, the problem is you don't know, right, like what the area is. right? So, you just kind of need to start backing up. She'll let you back up. That's what she wants. Hopefully you're not already in her territory and you're not, backing up closer to her den, right? She'll let you do that. She's cool with that. That's exactly what she wants. But if you encounter a male bear and you're in the territory, he interprets the whole situation completely differently. As far as he's concerned, there's a new competitor in the area, right? This explains a lot of stuff, even here on YouTube, right? So, you're a male, whatever. You're coming into the area and you encounter a male bear. He wants to check you out. He wants to see how strong you are. He wants to test you, okay? And if you start to back up too much, he's going to think you're weak, and he's going to come forward. It's actually going to encourage him to move forward on you. So a little bit of aggression is actually in order in that kind of a situation. In other words, you might want to pick up a stick. You certainly want to back up out of that area, but you don't want to do it the same way you do it with a female. Now, let's look at how this translates into the human world, right? Because that's where we are. I don't know. How many bears did you guys encounter today? But you understand the principle, right, of what's going on here. The female is defensive. She wants you out of the area. So you back off, she's going to let you back off. The male is competitive. He sees you in the area, he wants to test you. So you back off too much, you act too scared, he's going to think you're weak, and he's going to come on even more. So you've got to be careful. You've got to kind of judge the situation. So now here we are in, of course, the human world. And you've encountered a woman. And let's say you've gotten a job in the same area that the woman's in, right? A similar job, like, no, not sales, because they don't want to be in sales. So, some aspect where you're working with women, okay? She wants you out of her area. She sees you as a threat, okay? She's not so much aggressive as she is frightened and defensive. So what she's going to do is she's going to start calling on help. She's going to start falsely accusing you, okay? She's not going to confront you outright. She's going to start accusing you. She's going to start finding fault with your performance, anything that you might do wrong. And she's going to hold on to that stuff, and she's going to add it up, and she's going to then use it in relational aggression and talk to the boss or talk to the other coworkers. Have you seen the new guy? This is what I don't like about him. This is what he did, okay? Now, same situation, but you've got a man in there. Hey, let me check the comments section. Yeah, let's get this one up here by Magnetic. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Like I said, these are going to be short ones. Now, you've encountered a male in the workplace. How does he feel about it? He's like, okay, here's a new competitor. He's going to come forward. He's going to check you out in a friendly manner. He's going to be like, hey, man, how you doing? What's your name? What's your background? What do you know? What do you do? Right? It's going to seem like a welcoming kind of thing. And it is. It's cool because most men, they're not afraid of competition. They actually know that competition, makes them better. Maybe this person has some skills that they can, kind of sponge and learn from and adopt into their own practices. Of course, they're defensive too, right? So they want to be like, I want to see if this guy's going to move to the top of the charts and take my position. But they're pretty cool about it, right? The woman is actually, so you're encountering this and you're like, yeah, this is okay, but maybe you're not the chatty, friendly type, especially in a new work environment. So you're a little, put off by the guy who's a little bit too friendly, but it's okay. The woman, understand, even though she's defensive and threatened by your presence at all, okay, she's actually acting more friendly. She's actually acting quite nice about the situation. She's not necessarily welcoming you into the situation, as she is kind of like scoping you out and getting data about you, because she's going to hold on to that data. For example, let's say, you're new in a place, you don't know where anything is, you're a little awkward, you're just getting your bearings and settled in. she's going to take that as a sign of weakness. She's actually going to be like, okay, I'm going to hold on to this. This is why women hold on to anger. This is why women can whip out something that you did from years and years ago and be like, yeah, you forgot our anniversary, back at this time. So they hold on to this small little stuff, okay? Whereas if the man, he'll confront you straight up, right away. So do you see the difference in the way they're approaching what they consider to be a threat, what they're getting angry about, and shit like that? Okay? Totally different. I want you to understand this so that when you're dealing in this situation and the woman's coming over to you and she's like, hi, my name is Janie, how are you? Oh, you're new here. Welcome to the team. Okay? That in fact, she's gathering intelligence on you. Okay? Because she's already threatened. She's already feeling threatened. She's trying to figure out kind of like, what she can get to use against you. Okay? Whereas if when the man is coming over to you and saying, hey man, how you doing, man? My name's Joe. What's your name? Where you from? He's actually greeting you. He's scoping you out too, but he's scoping you out to compete with you. All right? Now, this translates into all interactions, MGTOW. So when you call up your ex and you want to set up a situation to, maybe talk to your own children, she's threatened. She's acting nice, but she's threatened. You say one wrong word, she's going to make a note of that and report it to the courts. This is what she's doing. And the reason, I think you can even understand the reason, okay? She's defensive. She's scared. How would you feel if you were the weakest person in the room, right? You come into a group of men and everybody there is 6.5 feet tall. Everybody there is 250 pounds made out of muscle. And you're, only 6'2" and only 220 made out of muscle, okay? You're going to feel intimidated. So imagine what a woman feels like in this situation. Now, this drives her behavior. So when you're, just like standing up and reaching out and shaking your hand and saying, hi, my name's Joe, right? I'm new here. I'm looking forward to it. I've got some experience in the field. She's like, okay, his name is Joe. He's a little too physical. I don't like that. She's acting friendly, but she's gathering intelligence, and she's going to report that intelligence to other people to determine how well you do in the group. Okay? She's eliciting emotional responses out of you because that's her territory. That's where she's strong. You're not going to win on that playing field as a man. You're just not. You don't have the complexity to get along there. Sometimes you do. But generally speaking, that's not your playing field. Your playing field is hard work, getting shit done, okay? Dealing with emergencies. Understand, that's not her strong suit, okay? When there's an emergency, her default response is, who the hell do I get help from, right? She's looking around. Who's going to protect me? Who's going to lead in this situation? That's not your approach. Situation comes up, there's a loud noise outside. You're like, where's a big stick? What have I got to do? So the approach to everything is completely different. Does this make sense? Does this give you some insight as to why the female seems to be so vindictive? Why she seems to be so deceptive? Because she's afraid. Does this give you insight as to why some of the men, especially the younger men, they're so open, they're so direct? And I'm talking about a healthy man here, right? Unfortunately, we've got a situation where the men have been influenced by the female values. This is one of the main points of MGTOW. Okay, this is one of the most important points of MGTOW. The problem, it's not that men and women are equal. That's not the problem. Okay, legally, how they're treated, everybody should be equal, right? No problem with that. I don't think any man has a problem with the idea that everybody's going to be treated fairly, you included. So this is what is conditioned. This is what is indoctrinated throughout all the media, throughout all the institutions. And if you act in any way in opposition to this, Like if you hold the door open, you're going to be like, you're a misogynist pig, right? If you say, I got it, I'll take care of that, okay, you're going to be like, well, a woman can take care of it just as well as you. So you understand the situation, okay, that we're talking about, the setting that we're talking about. But here's the problem. The men and the women are not the same. She's responding in a defensive manner to everything around her. A male is responding in an aggressive, curious manner to everything around him. The problem is that with the indoctrination, with the institutions, with the media, the young men are actually convinced that men and women are the same. So he's walking around thinking that when he feels aggressive and hostile, that she feels the same way. Yeah, I'm outdoors. You know that, right, guys? Okay, so I'm dealing with stuff. Yeah, hey, support the Howard Dare channel, okay? Come on, man. Click on the PayPal link. If you can help out the Howard Dare channel, do it, okay? I'll use it to build up the Howard Dare channel to get the MGTOW message out there to help the men, all right? That's all I'm doing, right? Somebody gives me $20, I'm taking maybe, a few bucks, right, to buy some food, right, to buy a snack for the night. But the rest of it is going into buying microphones and new equipment. Got a lot of new equipment coming here to the Howard Dare channel. I'm going to be able to actually do podcasts where I can display images and go through news things and bring other people into the whole situation. I can't even do that now. I hope my audio is okay. Let's see. What's going on in the chat section? Okay, we've got 28 people here. Thank you guys for stopping by. What does Blackerish Ebony Diamond say? He says, now I'm married again to my Wafu, a perfect combination of beauty, submission, and silence. Hey, man, is that a sex doll? Yeah, absolutely, bro. This is the way to go. I want to have myself a whole garage full of them, a whole harem full of them, pick out a different one each night. Someday we'll have androids. Someday we'll have passable androids, and the women will be upset about that, right? It's like, you're being sexist towards them. You're objectifying an object. And the reason why is because everything is seen as a threat. And I'm sorry, man, you would see it that way too. If you were the smallest person in the room, you would see everything as a threat. Now, as I said, the problem is that the young man is raised, indoctrinated, conditioned to think that we're all the same. So he thinks that the woman feels exactly like him. And he thinks it's okay to act like a woman acts. And it's not. Not only is it, oh shit, big dog. Not only is it not okay, not only will people look at the young man or the man with disgust if he starts to act like a woman, it hurts his physiology. It turns him into a weak, doting, emotional, easily upset man. You ever see that? Yeah, I recently had an experience, right, with a guy. He's a guy in charge, middle management, right? I never liked it. And I had to move on from where he was in charge. I just had to, it's like, okay, I got to leave this place. And then I was like, hey, man, I got to pick up my mail. You know what I mean? I still had some mail coming into that area. And that's what I have. I have places where I can pick up my mail, get a meal occasionally, stuff like that. Outdoors, gentlemen. MGTOW on the streets, bro. No bullshit. It's where a lot of men are heading. You know what I mean? Let me say something really quick. The trick here is not to get what you want out of life and to be in a perfect situation all the time. That's a woman's way. The nest has been built for her. All of this civilization, it's a giant nest. Okay? The trick is for you as a man to be strong enough to deal with whatever situation comes your way. Okay? You're not going to get what you want all the time. Things are not going to work out all the time. No problem. You're strong enough to deal with it. That's what you want. Don't pray to get what you want. Pray to be strong enough to deal with whatever the situation is, okay? Because the situation is real. So that's what's going on. Hold on a sec, guys.